before we start our lesson for this week, let's revise what we have covered last week. So last week we talked about short A and short I. Short A sound A, short I sound I. What I want you to do is to make a list of 5 words for each vowel, for each sound. Now also we have covered the vocabulary words. This is like a quick revision. This is the word ached. Ached. For example, my head ached after watching TikTok for a long time. Second one, concentrate. Concentrate. It's hard to concentrate when the music is loud. Discovery. Discovery. The discovery of a new species is blooming. Educated. I'm not educated in how to write a descriptive essay. So now that we have used these words in sentences, let's do a quick revision of their meanings. Ached means hurt. Concentrate means to focus or to do something carefully. Discovery means to find for the first time. Educated means you get well informed or learn. Now here I have effort. Effort means hard work. For example, it takes no effort to breathe. So it takes no effort means it doesn't need any hard work to breathe. Improved. Improved, it means got better. For example, my work has improved after practice. Everyone's work will improve after practice. Inspired. Inspired. Artists are inspired by nature. It means artists, they paint their pictures after they get inspired by nature. Satisfied. I'm not satisfied with my math grades. It means I'm not happy with my math grades. So this week we're going to study grammar, sentences, and sentence fragments. So what is the difference between a sentence and a sentence fragment? Let's find out.
Our lesson in this week is about sentences and sentence fragments. So first, what is a sentence? So what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words that shows a complete thought, means a complete idea. It begins with a capital letter and ends with an end mark. The end mark could be a period, could be a question mark, or an exclamation mark. For example, I read a book about sea life. I, as you can see, begins with a capital letter. At the end of the sentence, I have a period. So this sentence is a complete sentence. It also states a complete thought. I read a book about sea life. We know that a sentence is made of 2 parts. The subject, which is what's the sentence talking about or who is doing the action in the sentence. In this sentence, I have the pronoun I and a predicate which completes the sentence. It's the verb plus other parts of the sentence. We call them the predicate. So a sentence should have a subject and predicate. It should begin with a capital letter and ends with a point or end mark. Let's see another example. A jellyfish is an interesting sea creature. So who is the sentence talking about? It's talking about a jellyfish. So a jellyfish here is the subject, and the other part of the sentence is the predicate. As you can see, a jellyfish, the beginning of the sentence is capital letter and it ends with a point. The third sentence, a giant squid can grow to be very large. Who can grow to be very large? Who are we talking about in this sentence? We're talking about a giant squid. So this one here, a giant squid, is the subject and the other part is the predicate. So here I can say that I have the 2 parts of the sentence. So this sentence states or conveys a complete thought. So as we said, that it has a subject and a predicate. This is very important. If one of these parts is missing, then the sentence is not complete. So what do we say when the sentence is not complete? I say that it is what? A sentence fragment. What is a sentence fragment? A sentence fragment is a group of words that does not show a complete thought. For example, the largest mammal. Who can tell me what is the missing part in this sentence, the largest mammal? So here I have the subject. I'm talking about the largest mammal. But what's wrong with the largest mammal? So this one here, this part is missing. That's why this is not a complete sentence, because it doesn't show a complete thought. Therefore, this is a fragment. A fragment. The second one, live off the coast of Japan. Now here I have the predicate, but who are we talking about? Who lives off the coast of Japan? So the first part of the sentence, which is the subject, is missing. So as we said that a sentence fragment is missing a subject or a predicate. Let's practice. Let's practice. Let's see here. Read each group of words. This is easy. Write yes if the group of words form a sentence. Write no if it does not form a sentence. Let's read the first one. I read a book about sea life. I read a book about sea life. Now let's see here. Do I have the subject? Yes. Does it begin with a capital letter? Yes. Does it end with a period? Yes. Is the predicate here? Also yes. So is this a complete sentence? I can say yes, it is a complete sentence. The second sentence, the largest mammal. The largest mammal, capital letter, end point. But what's wrong with the largest mammal? There is one part missing. So is it a sentence? Of course it's not a sentence. So I write no. Number 3, I want to see a whale someday. Capital letter, yes. End point, yes. Subject and predicate, also yes. Does it show a complete thought? Also yes. So this is a complete sentence. Number 4, swims quickly through the water. Capital letter, yes. End point, yes. But who swims quickly through the water? There is one part missing. So it's not a sentence. Number 5, a jellyfish is an interesting sea creature. Begins with a capital letter? Yes. Has an end mark? Yes. Does it have a subject? It is the jellyfish. Does it have a predicate? Also yes. So yes, this is a complete sentence. So I write yes. Let's move on. Now, moving on, after we have learned what's a sentence and what's a fragment, we are going now to differentiate between the parts or the types of sentences and see why do we have all these types of sentences. Now, before we move on, we have to know that there are 4 types of sentences. And why is that? Why is that? Now, we know that a sentence has a subject and a predicate, and we use a sentence to share our thoughts. However, not all thoughts are the same. Because we have different thoughts, we have also different types of sentences. There are actually 4 types of sentences. We are going to address only 2 of them. The first type of sentences is statement or declarative sentence, and the second type is a question or interrogative sentence. Now, what is the declarative sentence? A declarative sentence, it states what we're talking about. So in a declarative sentence, we are not shouting, We are only stating a fact or an opinion. We are stating a fact or an opinion, okay? We are expressing our opinion about something. For example, I can say, it's a nice day today, or I can say, for example, I have a pet. And a sentence should begin with a capital letter and ends with an end mark. What end mark? It should end with a period. Now, a question or interrogative sentence usually asks something. It ends with a question. It usually begins with the question words. What are the question words? Who, what, where, when, why, how, do. For example, who are you? What's for dinner? Where are my keys? When is the test? Why do birds fly? How are you? Do you want something to drink? All of these sentences, they end with a question mark, and no other sentence ends with a question mark. Let's practice. Write a statement if the sentence tells something, and write question if it asks something. Put the correct end mark at the end of each sentence. Let's start with the first one. We learned about fire safety at school today. Now, as you can see in this sentence, I am declaring, okay, I am stating a fact that we have learned about fire safety at school today. So this one, it should end with a point. I should write the mark, and then I write statement next to it. Second one, it is important to have fire alarms that work. Again, I am stating an opinion, okay? So it should end with a period, and it is a statement. Number 3, do you check your fire alarms each year? So I have here a question word, which is the word do. And so here I'm asking something, so it should end with a question mark, and then I write question next to it. Number 4, kids should only cook with an adult nearby. So this one here, I'm not asking, I'm not using any of the question words. I'm stating an opinion that kids, it's a fact actually, not opinion, that kids should only cook with an adult nearby. So this one here is a statement. Families should plan escape routes from their home. Also here I am stating, so this is a point, and then I write statement next to it. So what do we have next? Next I have, before I move on to the next one, now it's time for you to solve part A of the worksheet. So part A is about grammar. There are 3 questions in part A. You can now open your worksheet and start solving them, because the information is still fresh in your mind. So now you can solve them at ease. Let's move on. In our writing lesson, we're going to learn about what is paragraph writing. What is paragraph writing? Now, I know that you may think that writing is hard, but actually it is not. It's just like the way you're speaking. When you say sentences, when you talk in English, these are sentences. All you have to do just to write them down on your paper, and then you will have a paragraph, or you will have an essay, a big paragraph, which is made of more than one paragraph. So let's start with a chunk of writing. We're going to study about paragraph writing. In order to make it easier for you, I'm going to explain to you what is hamburger organizer. What do I mean by hamburger organizer? So let's assume that a paragraph is just like a hamburger. In a hamburger, we need the top bun. So this is the topic sentence, and it tells the main idea, or what are we talking about. Now, and the bottom bun at the end, this is the conclusion sentence. or the concluding sentence, as you can see here, this one. So this one, it refers back to the topic sentence and sums up the main idea of the paragraph. It's just like you restate or you rewrite what you said in the topic sentence, but in different way. Now, in between the top bun and the bottom bun, we have the details. We have all these details. We call them supporting sentence number 1, number 2, and number 3. I'm going to give you an example now. So what's the relation between a hamburger and writing a paragraph? Well, we need the topic sentence, so we need the bun to help us hold the topic bun and the bottom bun. We need these two buns in order to hold what's inside. So the two buns are important, the same way the topic sentence and the conclusion sentence are important. Now, in between, I have the meat, the tomato, and the cheese, and the lettuce. So these are the sentences. Why are they important? Imagine if you have only the topic and the conclusion sentence. Your paragraph won't be interesting. Similarly, if you have only the two buns without the stuff inside, your hamburger won't be tasty. Do you agree with me on that? I think you do. It makes sense, right? So as you can see here, the topic sentence is just like the top bun, and the supporting details are just like the lettuce and the cheese and the tomato. And the closing sentence is the bottom bun. So what are we going to do now? We are going to start writing. We're going to write about our first day at school. However, to make it interesting, we're going to write about our first day online school, during online school, because you haven't experienced your first day physically at school. So we're going to use it as online school. So what do you think the topic sentence will be? The topic sentence is just like the question I asked. I want you to write about your first day at school. So what do you say? You can start writing. For example, you can say, my first day at school. Let's make it interesting. It was different this year. Was different this year. And then you can say why. So now here, this is the topic sentence. We said that we're going to write about our first day at school. So why was it different? You may want to add another sentence to your topic sentence. You can say, for example, this year, my first day was online. My first day at school was online. And then you tell us what are you going to write in this paragraph. You can say, for example, here's how I spent it. So what do you think? Do you think this is easy? Do you think you can do it? Let's see, let's write some more sentences. Let me just clear everything. So now we're going to write, what did you do first, next, and finally, or at the end. So what did you do first? For example, first, I woke up, or you can say my mom woke me up. I woke up in the morning. You can say what time. I woke up at, let's say, 9 o'clock, because you don't have to wake up early in the morning. That's it. You can just write what time did you wake up, and then what did you do next, or second. I had my breakfast. Then I sat next to the computer. Computer screen. Okay, so what happens after you sat next to the computer screen? What was your first subject, for example? What was your first lecture? My first lecture was about what? My first lesson, you can say, if lecture is too hard, you can say my first lesson was about English. So what did you do in English, if you still remember? For example, I met my new teacher. I met my new teacher. How did you meet your new teacher? What is the program that you used? Through Zoom. You can say, for example, through Zoom, and you can say that you also met your friends. So that's it. It's not hard. You just have to put your ideas and organize them together. So now we will move on to the closing sentence. You can say, how was your first day at school? How was your virtual day at school? So you can say, for example, as we said in the beginning, that my first day was different, but it was interesting as well. My first day at school was different this year. So just like we said in the topic sentence, right? My first day at school was different this year, but it was interesting. That's it. That's it. This is the end of your paragraph. Okay, this is the end of your work. And as you can see, it's really not hard. So as you have seen, we have wrote the topic sentence. We have given 3 details, and we wrote the closing sentence, and that's it. We did writing. We wrote a paragraph now. It's so easy. So let's see, what do we have next? So now now it's time to put all your ideas in one paragraph, and do not forget to indent. What is the indent? The indent is the small space that we leave in the beginning of each paragraph. So now this video is over. You can go and do the writing part. Okay, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and see you again next week.